Tomorrow, my son and I are getting new glasses. And after that, we'll see. Today, I'm going to recap a 2017 action crime film called A Prayer Before Dawn. In the first scene, we are introduced to Billy Moore, an English boxer preparing for a bout in Thailand, where he's moved to further his boxing aspirations. Right before entering the ring, he consumes a drug, hinting at his severe addiction issues. As the match progresses, the narcotic impairs his breathing, affecting his performance. Even with his rigorous training, he's struck down by his rival, ending the fight. Undeterred, Billy gets up, asking for another chance, and in his anger, lunges at the referee. That evening, Billy finds solace in a nearby bar, where an individual proposes a cash-for-drug transaction. Come dawn, the Thai police show up at his door. Panicking, Billy hides his stash in his underwear, but gets apprehended and thrown onto a table. Subsequently, he's escorted to the precinct and accused of possessing illicit drugs. The next morning, Billy, alongside other detainees, is transported to the notorious Clong Prem prison in Bangkok. On reaching, a meticulous search is conducted, with the inmates undergoing strip and body checks. In the process of getting his mugshot, an officer discreetly hands him some heroin. He's then confined in a densely populated cell, filled with loud and aggressive inmates. A guard soon arrives to enumerate the prison's stringent rules, which notably include bans on gambling, smoking, and getting tattoos, and warns of severe repercussions for infringements. When Billy moves to refill his water container, an inmate pushes him. Infuriated, Billy's reaction is halted when guards intervene, isolating him. Subsequently, Billy is relocated to a cell occupied by heavily tattooed inmates. Not long after, Keng, the inmate leader, beckons Billy and converses in Thai, a language Billy barely comprehends. After a short dialogue, Keng instructs Billy to perform push-ups while the surrounding prisoners mock and intimidate him. Billy is clearly provoked but refrains from retaliating, being aware of his vulnerable position. Later on, he's discreetly offered a cigarette by the inmates. That same night, while the cell is largely quiet, Billy heads towards the restroom. Suddenly, he's cornered by Keng and his crew, who, while threatening him with a blade, coerce him to witness their brutal attack on another inmate. This traumatic event profoundly disturbs Billy, resulting in a restless night for him. The following morning, Billy is overwhelmed with grief upon discovering that the previously assaulted inmate has committed a grievous act. In his anguish, he visits the infirmary, hoping to obtain pain relief medication. The on-duty officer denies his request. Billy points out that other inmates receive painkillers freely, but the officer corrects him, saying they're not complimentary and demands either cash or cigarettes in exchange. This exchange aggravates Billy, resulting in a physical brawl, during which Billy resorts to biting an officer. Additional guards intervene, subduing him with a thorough beating. After this ordeal, Billy finds himself sharing a cell with an inmate named Fame, who identifies as a ladyboy, and she assists him in tending to his wounds. In the ensuing scene, a restraint is placed on Billy's leg, ensuring he remains non-combative. During a group bathing session, Keng's crew discreetly smokes a cigarette. They covertly share some with Billy, which he stealthily consumes. A bit later, Billy extends his appreciation to Fame for her assistance the previous night and requests some cigarettes. She questions if he receives financial aid from his family. Billy admits his lack of family ties, but assures her he'd repay her once he gets funds in the forthcoming week. As the day draws to a close, Keng, along with several inmates, is seen engaging in a cigarette gambling session. In his dire state, Billy trades his packet of cigarettes to obtain narcotics. In the dead of night, the prison's guards abruptly alert the inmates about the demise of 3 prisoners. They are subsequently ushered outside for scrutiny, and a sniffer dog, detecting narcotics, zeroes in on Billy. Upon inspection, an illicit stash is uncovered. To evade punishment, Billy tries on the incriminating clothing, highlighting their misfit. Miraculously, this tactic works, leading to another prisoner facing repercussions. This event infuriates Keng's group, as their comrade is implicated. Come morning, Billy's urges drive him to solicit a guard for heroin. The guard concedes, escorting him to a secluded cell and supplying a heroin-infused cigarette, while ensuring their discretion. Later, while Billy is indulging in another dose, a pair of inmates catch him red-handed. They coerce him into sharing, using intimidation as leverage. Just as things seem dire, another prisoner steps in, neutralizing the atmosphere. The next day sees Billy in a state of frantic desperation, as he reaches out to the previously accommodating guard for another hit. The guard, however, declines, citing Billy's outstanding payment. Billy, in his desperate state, pledges to undertake any task the guard demands. Seizing this opportunity, the officer instructs Billy to confront and attack two chefs who are hampering his illicit operations. Without a moment's delay, Billy consents and arms himself with a stick. He then proceeds to the kitchen and assaults the two chefs, bringing them perilously close to death. Following this aggressive outburst, the same correctional officer cautions Billy against killing and presents him with narcotics as compensation. However, struck by the gravity of his actions, Billy refuses the offer. Overwhelmed by remorse, he retreats to the showers, where he succumbs to his emotions and weeps. By nightfall, Billy contemplates a grievous act. Thankfully, another inmate spots his injury and acts promptly to stem the bleeding. Alerting others, the inmate's swift action proves life-saving for Billy. Later, within the confines of his cell, Billy channels his tumultuous feelings into practicing boxing techniques. Once his restraints are removed, he approaches a boxing ring where other prisoners hone their skills. However, due to his turbulent history, the trainer denies him entry. Billy then approaches Fame to express his regret for not settling his debt and asks for another cigarette pack, intending to offer it to the boxing instructor as an incentive to join the team. He vows to earn his place and compensate her. Although apprehensive, Fame relents, enabling Billy to secure a spot on the boxing squad. But in his inaugural match, he finds himself overpowered, earning ridicule from fellow prisoners. Resolute, he commits to rigorous training the subsequent day to reclaim his lost prowess. One evening, as Billy witnesses inmates engrossed in a cigarette wagering game, he decides to join. He places a bet using 2 packs of cigarettes and, against expectations, emerges victorious. The ensuing day, he repays Fame, and their conversation ensues. Billy confides about his father and siblings, while Fame reveals her incarceration stems from killing her tyrannical father. As they delve deeper into their narratives, their dialogue takes on an intimate tone. On another day, Billy is matched up against a fellow inmate of comparable might, resulting in an intense bout. By the 4th round, Billy, drawing on his refined skills, manages to subdue and knock out his adversary, marking his inaugural triumph within the prison walls. Subsequently, the prison's head, Preecha, having observed Billy's bout, commends his prowess and extends an invitation to his office. Preecha discloses plans to relocate Billy to a cell designated for the boxing squad, awarding him specific privileges. Furthermore, he announces that Billy would be the maiden foreign contender in an upcoming national qualifying tournament. This revelation fills Billy with elation and gratitude. Preecha then designates a 2-month training period for Billy's preparation. After his relocation, Billy is welcomed warmly by the other prisoners in his new cell. His preparation for the forthcoming tournament is intense and committed. While sharing a meal, the inmates exchange personal tales. One inmate describes his 5-year sentence, which was extended due to stabbing 3 officers, a result of his mental anguish. He took up boxing to occasionally visit his family. Billy decides to get a tattoo on his back. With time, his training advances and he gains confidence. However, witnessing Fame with another inmate devastates him, driving him back to narcotics. In a fit of rage, he lashes out at his sparring partner, which results in his isolation in a spacious empty cell. Here, he dedicates his day to training. Eventually, he's moved back with the boxing team, where he confronts the anger of his training partner. Billy apologizes, maintaining his composure, and is readmitted into the ring with the team's endorsement. Over time, he establishes deep connections with the other prisoners. One evening, the ladyboys sing for the inmates, and Fame's lingering glances at Billy indicate unresolved feelings. After a strenuous training regimen, Billy is in the communal bath when he's cornered by Keng and his crew. They demand hush money regarding Billy's drug habits. Billy pleads for time, assuring them he'll secure the tournament win and settle the debt. Yet they assault him brutally, with Keng menacingly warning him of the consequences of failure. To Billy's dismay, he is diagnosed with a hernia, attributed to his drug abuse, which poses a threat of internal bleeding and potential fatality. Nevertheless, driven by determination, he participates in the tournament at a different prison. On the day of the match, he warms up with his coach before entering the ring. Both fighters display remarkable talent. However, a powerful kick to Billy's stomach inflicts severe pain. His adversary's illegal move of attacking him while he's grounded doesn't deter Billy. Against the odds, he delivers a winning strike with a rotating back elbow. But victory is fleeting as Billy collapses, coughing up blood. Regaining consciousness in a hospital, Billy's first instinct is to flee, but he soon realizes the folly of his actions and returns. Subsequently, he's moved to a different correctional facility, where a heartwarming reunion with his father takes place. After serving a 3-year term, Billy is moved to a British prison and is ultimately granted clemency by the Thai monarch. If you enjoyed this video, don't be shy to hit the like button, and if you disliked it, hit the dislike button twice, just to be sure. It would be best if you watched the whole movie. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this.